Hi, welcome. This is gonna be July's reading vlog. It's literally July 19th. I'm just gonna go ahead and update on the books that I have read this month. There's a couple of new releases that I finished, and then also, like for me, June and July are like big summer months, so I wanted to read all of my like summer romances or summer set books. I don't know, that's just how my brain is working, so that's just what's happening this month, I guess, to just prepare you. But let's go ahead and get started. I first finished this book. This came out June 25th, I believe, but I finished it in July. So this is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. This is one of my most like anticipated releases of this year, and I'm not gonna lie, it was good, but it wasn't as good as the other two books that I have read by her. Like The Dead Romantics and The 7 Year Slip are still my favorites by her. This one just didn't hit the same as those. So this one I gave a 4.5 out of 5. The premise on it is so fun. She gets stuck in a town, in a fictional town of one of her favorite like book series. This would be so cool if this was real. Like if you could just go into a town of whatever fictional world is like your favorite to read about. So that was really fun about it. The romance kind of comes out of nowhere. Like there was no kind of like little build up to it, kind of like in The Dead Romantics. I just wish it was a little bit more like that. But it did get a 4.5 because I had a great time reading this, and I love her writing. I really love her writing. I would still very much recommend this book. It just isn't my favorite by her, but I still really loved it, which is why it has a 4.5. But yeah, first book I read in July. After that, I completely forgot that Reckless was coming out in July. Reckless got a 5 star from me, and I know some people didn't love this as much as they love Powerless, but I personally really enjoyed it. I can't say too much about this because I feel like it kind of gives away a little bit of Powerless, but it's slower than Powerless. But I have seen Lauren Roberts talk about how there's things in here that are important for the buildup of the last book. I loved being back in their banter, especially Kai's way of thinking of Peyton in his head is just great. Like most of these like tabs that I have for this book are literally just Kai's thoughts of Peyton. They're just so sweet and lovely, and I love the way that she writes their banter. And I don't know what else to say. I wish I could talk more about it, but I can't without spoiling it. But yeah, read Reckless. After that, I started doing all the summer books because I needed to get those new releases out of the way. So I read Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I give this book 5 out of 5. Something about this book was just so comforting and heartwarming. It was such a sweet like romance, but then there's like more to it. Basically, this book is about Allie, and her mother has passed away 2 years in the past when you're coming into the story. A year after her mother's passing, her husband wants to separate, and now you're following her in the book as she's going through final separation, trying to get her life together. She ends up meeting this guy. They spark up a romance, and he is so sweet to her, and the way that he helps her and her family is just so perfect. It was so cute. Great quotes from this book. 5 out of 5 for this one. Very happy I read this. Next, we have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is my first ever Abby Jimenez book that I have ever read, and I'm just gonna say, if they are all like this, I'm reading all her books, because this book was amazing from start to finish. I loved every second of it. Obviously got a 5 stars. So basically in this book you follow Emma, dual POV between Emma and Justin, who both believe that they have this curse where they date someone, and then as soon as they break up with them, that person ends up finding their true love. They're like, I'm never gonna find anybody because I have this curse. And then they find each other through like a Reddit post, and they end up like meeting, and there's so much going on in their lives, like family stuff going on, that this book is not just a romance. Like, this is so much more. Them dealing with like their traumas. They are both such sweethearts in the way that they care about each other and the way that they care about their families. I don't know what else I could say about this. 5 out of 5 for this one as well. We're having a good reading time, okay? The last book I have read is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is our book club pick for the month of July. This book got a 2.5. I did enjoy it. I'm sure you've heard people talk about this. It's these teenagers that are basically recruited by the FBI because they have special abilities. You basically just follow a mystery going on, okay? In the end, you solve it. So with that, I feel pretty confident in reading this book and not reading the rest of the series. I've read the Inheritance Games. I read the first and the second book. I refuse to read the third one because I'm not a big fan of love triangles. And there's a love triangle in here. I just don't like them. And I also have this problem with the way Jennifer Lynn Barnes writes her romances or like her love interest, where it'll just be somebody who's like a jerk to the main character, she doesn't like him, and then 3 chapters later they're all, oh, I don't know what to do with these feelings, you just mean so much to me, blah blah blah. Y'all just hated each other 2 chapters ago. I don't understand where all these feelings came from. You haven't known each other long enough. You didn't have a good first impression for you to be like, these feelings, I don't know how to deal with them. What feelings? Like if she wasn't straight up telling me that they like each other, I would have never known. So that's just something that bugs me about the way that she writes like love interest and stuff like that. Like, it's not for me, and I can just feel that the love triangle is gonna get more and more annoying throughout the series. I enjoyed the mystery. I kind of guessed it. I have my random suspicions that I'm pretty sure she put in so that you would be like thinking that it was that to like confuse you. But then by the end I had guessed it. But yeah, this got a 2.5 out of 5 for me. It didn't do it for me. It really didn't. Those are the books I have read in July so far. I'm pretty proud of myself because normally I just read 4 to 5 books a month, and I'm already at 5, and we still got like what, a week, 2 weeks? Yeah, we still got somewhat like 2 weeks left in the month. So currently I'm reading Beach Read by Emily Henry because again, I'm all in the beach reads, summer romances. My friend recently read this and she said that she absolutely loved it. And I was like, now I really want to read it because I want to be able to talk about it with her, you know? I don't really know what this book's really about. I've heard people describe it as these two like work rivals swap genres of like, they're both writers, so they swap what each other's like normal genre is to write in. I don't really know. I'm literally only 32 pages in, but so far it's made me laugh. I mean, it's kind of giving grumpy right now, but he's being a bit of a grump, and some of the things that he said to her have made me laugh because I'm like, you're so right though, because I'd be thinking the same thing if I was meeting her and these were my first impressions. I will update when I have more on this book. Yeah, welcome to July. Welcome back. We have to talk. We need to talk about what's going on here. It's been almost a week since we last talked, and I was reading Beach Read, which is low-key putting me in a reading slump. It might have also just been The Naturals, because it wasn't a bad book, but it just wasn't great either. Like, it literally got a 2.5. I think is literally what I gave it. So then I jumped into Beach Read, and I don't know if I just like overdid it with the summer books. So I literally made it to page 126, and I'm literally in the middle of a chapter. Then I was like, ooh, maybe I should finally read this thriller that I've had for so long. And then I never started it. I've just been carrying it around for no reason. And then I actually did start Kingdom of Ash because I need to finish this series. I don't know, I really doubt I'll finish this before the end of July, but I'm gonna start it and then just Whenever I feel like just reading it, I'll pick it up. And then I don't think I'm DNFing Beach Read. I just don't feel like reading it right now. I did just come back from Books A Million. And I had a gift card from a book that I returned. I didn't go in looking for books, but obviously you go into the bargain section, you're gonna find something. I only got 2 books. First one is A Haunting in Venice by Agatha Christie because I've been really enjoying her books, and this was literally $4. And it's a teeny tiny one. And then also got The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hilderbrand. I haven't been like crazy excited to read this, but this is getting turned into a TV show, which I do want to watch. I believe it's a show, it might be a movie. Pretty sure it's a show. And this one had like water damage, I'm pretty sure. Because that's what these crinkles are giving. Pretty sure this got water damage, so I got marked down to like $6. It's July 25th, so literally the month is almost over, and there is no way I'm finishing Kingdom of Ash by the end of this month unless I dedicate like the whole week to just reading it as much as I can. And I don't feel like rushing it because it's the last book in the series. Like, I want to enjoy it. Guess I'll just update when the month is over. It's been a couple days since I last updated. Yeah, I think last time I talked to you guys, I think it was Thursday, and it's Sunday today. And if I'm being 1000% honest, I've read like nothing. Kingdom of Ash, I finished chapter 1, and that's it. But this morning I read like a little bit, like a couple more pages of Beach Read. I'm still in the middle of a chapter because I literally had like 1 page left, and it would have changed to a different part of the book. But for me, I feel like I'm enjoying more of her writing than I am the romance between the 2 characters. Like the writing, like the way that she is describing things, or just like quotes. Like from that, like literally this whole page, almost this whole page got underlined because, I don't know, just something about the way that she's like writing the characters' like thoughts, I'm really enjoying. I don't know, I just keep going back and forth of like, should I just push myself to finish this and hopefully I like it and I just needed to give myself that push, or should I soft DNF and start another book? Yeah, I don't know what this rant is about. It's basically to say that I had a really good start to the reading month, and I don't know if the naturals got me in a reading slump or if I just read so many books and my brain is like, done. Because I don't think this book is bad. I'm just having a crisis. Yeah, I guess I'll probably won't see you till like the last day of June or first day of August, and I'll end this video because unfortunately I started the reading vlog when the reading slump started. That's all I really got to update on Beach Read. And I knew it. And I knew it. And I called it. And if somehow it's actually something else, I at least knew that this was going to happen. Even if it's not what is the actual answer to the plot. Yeah. Yeah. Big brain. Sorry. Wet hair, no makeup. My skin's going through it, so I'm letting it breathe. We finished A Flicker in the Dark. And by we, I mean me. Unless you were reading it. I will say I was right about my theory in the beginning, but it did a good job at throwing me off and making me think like obviously what it wanted me to think, that it was other people. I give it a 3 out of 5 just because I did enjoy it and it did help me get out of my reading slump, but there was a bit in it that I can't say because obviously it's a spoiler. I just didn't like it. First, like the actual scene that I'm thinking of, I rolled my eyes because I was like unnecessary, and then later on you find something else out that makes that scene so much worse. And I was like, this just didn't need to be in here. It would have been better without it. Yeah, I mean, I speed read through this book because I just really wanted to know what was going on. Oh yeah, it's August 1st, so July's over. But I read 6 books and something like 2,000 something pages. It's not that much over 2,000, but if we add the 25 pages I read of Kingdom of Ash, and I think I made it 146 into beach read. So I'm not even halfway through, but I haven't been reading it, so that kind of makes sense. But we read this, so that's a win. We're out of the slump, and hopefully now we can finish beach read in August and make a dent into this break. That's gonna be it for July. I hope you've enjoyed, and maybe I'll see you August.